I'm starting. One second. Moshe, sorry, could you give me the name? You have the chat? I put the name in the chat. You have the chat? Yeah. You put it their first names, no? Him and his wife. And it's wife. I put it there or no? I think I wrote it in the chat. I think you put the name also. Shiur today is sponsored generously by Dr. Babak and there's a missing in the Gemara chat. I put it. And Mrs. Goldberg. Goldman, sorry. And we should give the name. Her name Babak and Naomi. Goldman. A golden man. Hazak Baruch. Yes. Hazak Baruch, Dr. Goldman. Good. Okay, guys. When Tel Aviv comes, Yair. When Tel Aviv comes, bring the food over here. Everybody eat, okay? Yalla. We're going to start on Baba Batra 60B. Now, last week was such a big hit. Last week's Shiur was such a big hit when we told everyone they have to lower the house. You can't have big houses. So we're going to do part 2. We're going to do a similar halakha. I highlighted in yellow, and Baba Batra, we're going to start. In Misayidin, now I brought over here the article Gemara. Already? Yeah.
Why you don't take one Gemara and finish? At the end we do Siyum Masechet.
Be'ezrat Hashem, I want to do this also. Yerushua, you should be the president of the Shiur. No, that's not true. That's not true. We'll get there. Okay, yalla. We are on the yellow, seriously. Does he have even a hazakah? Come 3 times. Okay, yalla, Yerushua. In Misayidin, I have the art scroll for the English. What's going on here? Come on. All right, are we ready? We're settled. In Misayidin, ve'in Mitchayerin. The print is not good. And I brought the article because I want to make sure these words, we translate them the right way. Moshe, I told you about this before, right? The Gemara says, En Misayedin, you do not plaster, the art scroll says. Now, that's the food. The Rashbam over here, I was trying to be a genius and I highlighted yellow and I blocked all the yellow. Is everybody with me? Am I reading to myself here? Rabotai, are we here? All right, let's just pause this.
Give it 2 minutes.
Let's pause it away. How do you do this? Yes. We have everyone? Should I wait? Go. En Misayedin ve'en Mechayirin. See Rashbam? That's Rashbam on the side. It's not Rashi. It's Rashi's grandson, Rashbam. Rashbam says, En Misayedin, Bait. En Misayidin, you don't plaster a house, Mishum Avel, Mishum Evel, because of mourning, Bet HaMikdash, because you're mourning the Bet HaMikdash. And so the Gemara says, you do not plaster your house. Wait till the end. Put it right here in the middle. Yeah. Right. Do not plaster your house. En Mechayerin, your house. Rashbam says in the yellow. I blocked it, but you can read it a little bit. En Mechayerin, Surot, Hatzad Besid. It's making pictures on the wall. Art. You want to make art on the walls of your house. What does the art scroll use for this word? The art scroll uses the word ornament. Do not ornament your house. And the last one is En Mefayehin Bizman Hazeh. You don't mefayeh. Rashbam says it's almost the same thing. And what is it? What?
Drawing.
Yeah, is it a common word used now? This word? Yeah. With a fe. And Mefayehin. So not with a tzadi though, with a samach. Misayedi, not with a samach, not a tzadi. So it means the seed. It's lashon seed. Seed is plaster. The second one is mechayerin, and the third one is mefayehin. The art scrolls words they use for these words is plaster, misayanin. The second one, michayanin, is ornament, which is draw on the wall. The Rashbam says draw on the wall, And the last one they use is the word paint. You don't paint. So the first line of the Gemara is already a smash. No, these days, since the Beit HaMikdash is gone, no painting. This is the Gemara says. No painting, no plastering, no ornamenting the walls.
No painting like the drawing.
So far, we're going to see. So far, this is what we're up to. Because in the Beit HaMikdash, yeah, we're mourning. Abelut, Beit HaMikdash. Beit HaMikdash, how could you have a nice house? Yeah. And so let's see. The Gemara says, Lakah Hatzed, if you already purchased a house, Misuyedet, that's already plastered, Michuyedet, it's already drawn, ornamented, Mifuyehet, it's already painted. I already bought the house, it came like this. What do you want me to do about it? Who builds their own houses? What percentage of people buy versus build brand new, right? Most people buy a house. Leave it alone. You don't have to take the paint stripper on the walls. If you bought the house like this, you bought the house like this. Nafla, what if the house fell down? Tornado, the house fell down, or I got to renovate. When I do a new one, what do? It fell down. Now when I build up, can I paint? Right? Yoshua, the Gemara says, if you bought a house, it's already painted, beautiful, don't touch it. Leave it alone. It's kosher. Because you bought it like this. If it fell down, you can build it again. The Gemara says, you can build it again the way it was in the first Hava Amina in the Gemara. Alma? No. Alma Mash Avilut. Beit HaMikdash. No, Avilut. Let's see, the Gemara is going to continue. Tanu Ravanan. Lo yasud adam epeto besid. You should not plaster your house with plaster. Vim irev bohol or teven mutar. If you mix into the plaster hol, sand, or teven straw, it's allowed. Now, how many people are here in construction? I'm not even going to pretend to know more about you guys than what's inside plaster. My brother's in construction. I called my brother today. I said, what is inside plaster? What's the recipe for plaster?
He said,
you know what he knows. It could be a million things in there. The first Hava Amina, ornament means design the walls, like make the walls nice. But that's the Hava Amina of the Gemara. And they mix it. But hold on, Yehoshua, make sure you understand. Everyone understand, we're not talking about cement. We're talking about plaster for the wall. Sheet, like what you put on the sheetrock. Mordechai, you're in construction, yeah? What do you do when you build a house? You put a sheetrock. What goes on, and then what? Let's ask him. After sheetrock. You put plaster on the sheetrock or before the sheetrock? Inside the sheetrock is the plaster. You just paint the sheetrock. And in the Israel, it's stone. Cement walls. Okay, good. Ken? Okay, plaster on top of cement. Our Gemara is not talking about plaster on top of cement. I know, but even teeth. But the Gemara is not talking about cement. The Gemara is not. I understand, but the Gemara is talking about no cement. This Gemara is talking about seed only so far. So fully, is there such a thing as a fully plaster wall? Fully only plaster.
Yeah, the old houses have that. Yeah.
So that's with it. Okay, so thank you. I never, no. stones, right?
In the old places, you see wall, and this is stone.
Okay,
Cellar from the field.
right. But is there plaster on
And
it?
then at the top of there you have tiach, like a stucco.
Stucco.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to differentiate because there's a difference between teeth
ככה היו עושים בבתים
but there's a halachic difference. We have to. That's why I'm asking these questions. The halakha is going to be different. That's why I'm asking. We'll get there.
The old houses had only plastered walls.
That's what I just said. The Gemara is talking about plaster only. Okay, so let's see the Gemara. Gemara says, "Im irev bohol or teven mutar." If you mix sand or straw into the plaster, it's allowed. Why? Mordechai, lefi this, because you're degrading the plaster. We're on the second wide line, Yoshua. See how the lines get big? The second one. Im irev bohol or teven mutar. If you mix sand or straw in the plaster, it's kosher. It's not called a big simcha. Says the Rashbam, because mechahe the binyano. You're making it weaker. It's not such a strong material once you mix the sand or the straw. Mordechai, you agree with this? You just said it makes it stronger. Nagamah saying it makes it weaker. Huh?
I think it's a compliment.
Oh, hold on. I'll send it after. Oh, here. So the Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Irev bohol hareze terachsi. Rabbi Yehuda argues and says, no, if you add mixed sand to the plaster, you're making it better. Terachsid. What is the article used for terachsid? It says over here, terachsid.
It's stronger.
Strong plaster. Ken, Rashbam says you're making it strong. Yeah. So, Avi, this is what we're talking about. You ready? We're talking about the Gemara initially says you should be so sad for the loss of the Beit HaMikdash that you can't make yourself a fancy house out of plaster. If you have to mix sand or straw in with the plaster, so far that's what we're up to. So your house is not as elegant. We're building. We just started the first building block. The Yehuda says no. If you mix sand with the seed, it makes it even better. So that's not allowed. Heaven mutad. If you mix straw with the seed, with the plaster, that's weakening the material, and that's allowed. Tanu Rabbanan, the rabbis learned. When the second Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, Rabu Pilushim Israel, there were a lot of Pilushim, there were a lot of Jews. They never drank wine or ate meat, ever. They were so distraught and sad about the Churban HaBayit, they couldn't eat or drink. Rabbi Yehoshua meets these guys and talks to them. He tells them, why are you guys not eating meat or drinking wine? They told him, Rabbi, you expect us to eat meat which was brought on the Mizbeach, on the altar, and now the altar is destroyed? How could we eat meat? We used to drink wine, which they used to have wine libations, and now there's no more libations. How could, every time we look at a bottle of wine, our heart breaks?
Is that one of the reasons why we don't eat?
That's what he was saying. So some people add this to the 9 days. It's maybe it's a building block to it. It's a component.
That we don't have anymore.
Yeah. Amar lahem. So what did the rabbi tell them? Rabbi Yehoshua didn't like what they were doing. Rabbi Yehoshua wanted them to eat meat and drink wine. So what did he say? Amar lahem im ken lechem lo nochal. Don't eat meat. Don't eat bread. There's no more koban mincha with bread. So they answered him, okay, Rabbi, you got it. We won't eat bread too. If shar bepirot, we'll just eat fruit. He says to them, pirot lo nochal. Don't even eat fruit. There's no more koban bikunim. So they said, okay, Rabbi, you got it. If shar bepirot achinim, we won't eat the first fruits. We'll eat the other fruits, other people's fruits. Rabbi says to them, okay, mayim lo neshteh. You shouldn't drink water. There's no more water libation. Shatku. They had no answer. You gotta drink water. And so the rabbi was trying to show them, how far are you going to take this? You got to be realistic. Extremist. Amar lahen, the rabbi tells them. Now they mean well, obviously, and these are very religious, spiritual people. Amar lahen, he tells them, Banai, my sons, bo'u ve'omer lachem shelo leit'aber kol ikar yefshat. I'm going to explain to you my thought process. To not mourn at all for the temple, you can't not mourn for the temple. Shechbad nigzira gezira. You have to mourn for the temple, so you guys are in the right thought process. You should be sad. But you can't mourn so much. It's not possible. Why? Big rule. She'en gozrin gezra al sibur, ela im ken rov sibur yichunin la'amod ba. We don't make a decree or a rule unless most of Klal Yisrael can do it. If most people can't keep it, we don't do it, even if you're right about the rule. Not drinking wine or not eating meat or not eating fruit is not something people can do. And so therefore, it's not a... These guys for their whole lives. Yes. Yeah, because the spiritual loss, the spiritual loss is heavy. Yeah, it's a big loss. And they felt it very much, and he brings the pasuk from Eov, not from Malachi. It has to be the curse has to go on the whole nation, otherwise forget it. This is what the rabbi said. So Rabbi Yeshua tells them, you guys want to mourn? I'm going to tell you the proper way to mourn the temple. Sad adam et beto besid. If you make your house with plaster, leave a little space unplastered. This is the source. This is the source for this halakha. So this was interesting. This is in that conversation to these guys. Okay, so if you know, Yeshua, see, everybody knows this concept. This is where it comes from. Is to Yeshua telling the guys, slow down, take this, do this, don't do anything else. This is how you should mourn. And how much do you leave unplastered? How much of part of my wall should I leave unplastered? Amar Yosef, Ama al Ama. 1 Ama by 1 Ama. Not very much. Amar Reb Hista says, Ama is a foot and a half. Amar Reb Hista, it's mahloket, but whatever. Keneged ha-petach. Keneged ha-petach, interesting words. What does that mean, Keneged ha-petach?
Opposite of that.
It's actually a massive mahloket. I'm going to show you. What does the word Keneged mean?
Naked the opposite.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Keneged would be against. Like
So I'm getting.
when you go in.
It's right there. So I'm giving you a sneak preview. It's coming now, and I printed it for you. Mahloket. What is this word? Mineged. Opposite, next to. We don't know yet. Let's just finish the few lines of Gemara, and we'll move to the next thing. He says, here's another thing you guys should do if you want to mourn the temple. Eat the meat. But when you make the meal, leave a little space with no food on your plate. Don't fill the whole plate. Leave a little space on your plate with no food on it. Now, this is also a concept that a lot of times people leave food over from their meal. I don't think that's the pshat of this Gemara. It could be a different idea. Leave a little space. Maihi, what should I leave over? Amala papa, kasa daharsana. Leave over the little fried sardine fish. Don't add that to it. You're making a party, you're filling up the plate with all the things, leave one thing out. And then the Poskim also say, I'll read you Shulchan Aruch actually in a second. Let's just finish one more line, 2 more lines, then we'll move on. A woman gets adorned in all her makeup and her jewelry, but she should leave one part not jewelried up. One part not beautiful. Maihi, like what? When she gets all dressed up. So the concept here is dress up. That's what Yeshua is telling them. Enjoy your life. Get dressed up. Have the party. Remember. So the woman should get dressed. Put jewelry. Put earrings. Put necklace. Put your hair. but leave one fancy thing. It doesn't say put ashes on your face. One of the fancy things, don't add on. That's what we can handle.
Maybe that's where we got the concept of breaking the glass.
Absolutely, it's a Shulchan Aruch. Very good. Mahi Amarab Bat Sad'a. It's like a little hair. They used to put the hair, take the hair out from here. He said, leave the hair over there. Which means, so the concept, the musad of this, the lesson is a very important lesson for us. Rabbi Yehoshua is giving you the blueprint of how a Jewish person is expected to actually keep these laws for eternity, for the whole life until the temple is built. It's not in your daily grind. It's when you're about to do something fun and something exciting and something nice. You're building a new house. You're getting married. You break the glass. You're getting dressed up.
But did this all come down after the second?
Yes, after the second temple. Yeah, the Gemara says Bishniya, after the second temple. Why? Why?
That's first I go back after 70
So
years.
how do they know that?
Huh?
How do they know that? What you're saying is exactly the Ben Ish Chai. Beautiful. My favorite person in the whole world. Oh, one of my favorite. Ben Ish Chai says, why after the second temple? Why didn't they do this after the first temple? And the answer was, Jeremiah said it's going to be rebuilt 70 years.
Right.
They say, okay, fine, 70 years. We can handle
Wait.
7 years. Second temple, no one told us. When's it coming back? We have no idea when it's coming back. It's forever. So therefore, they were very, very, very sad. That's the answer to the obvious question. It's like when they got divorced, they separated. The guy never said, when I'm coming home from my business trip. The first time he said, I'll be home in 3 days. The second time, see you later. When are you coming back? Yes, I don't know. We'll see. When you're ready for it. It could be, it's been thousands of years. Okay. שנאמר, אם אשכחך ירושלים, תשכח ימיני, תדבק בשוני לחיקים, לא אזכרכי. Okay. אם אשכחך ירושלים, it's right here. Tehillim. It's Tehillim. This, that's why they say this in the Hatuna, im Mishkachech, right? Okay, now, as Moshe said, the Hatuna law with the glass comes from this Gemara. There's other halachot coming from the Gemara. I didn't give you all the halachot because this page would have been 15 pages. I broke it up. So right now, let's just handle the house for now, and then we can do the other stuff at different
This
times.
is all, basically, he's trying to placate people that wanted to be more
They
extreme.
mean well, yeah. They mean well.
And tell them,
That's
calm
why.
down, this is what you can do.
Right, but that's why I'm saying, for me, I don't know if you guys feel what I feel. For me, it's a musad in life.
And we
Yeshua is saying, remember the temple when you're about to go up into excitement. In your daily grind, he didn't say anything in the daily grind. Only when you're picking it up, don't get so high. That, it's such a small amount of remembering, that's what we could handle. Tiny. How many times in your life, count it? One wedding, one house, 2 houses maybe. Like I said, 3 times in your life when you have a big party, leave a piece on the table. It's not that he's saying it's not an everyday thing. That's what he's saying.
every year.
Yeah, well, yeah, that also. Okay, but that's a different Gemara. Okay, turn to the second page, guys. Yeah. You should wait a second. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People think that that's the sign.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people think. The second, then, pum, 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 pum. That's like the, no, wait 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Shomer Pitayim Hashem. Hashem protects people who don't know. Okay, page 2. Mishihara Bet HaMikdash. What are we reading now? Yehoshua. Wow, what a service. Look at this, Yehoshua. Everything's here for you, Ken? Okay, page 2. Page 2. We have Mishnah Torah. This is Rambam on top. I have to. Mishnah Torah. Rambam. Says Rambam, Mishihara Bet HaMikdash. תיקנו חכמים שהיו באותו הדור שאין בונים לעולם בניין מסויד ומחויד כבניין מלכים. Rambam says we're not allowed to build a plastered or adorned building like the kings built. That's what Rambam says. אלא קח ביתו בטיט. See, this is the first introduction of the word tit, cement. Rambam says use cement. Put the plaster on the side. Use cement, which is lower grade. And then besad besid, and then on top of the cement, put the plaster. That's why I said this before. Must be the fancy houses were all plaster, no cement. ומשייר מקום אמה על אמה. And then you have to leave a space, 1 אמה by 1 אמה, כנגד הפתח, opposite or next to the door, below seed with no plaster. So what's showing? Just the cement is showing. Just the cement. It says הפתח, the door, which is the front door.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Exactly, not finished.
I didn't know that.
Because I have the privilege of reading this whole thing. והלוקח חצר מסוידת ומחוירת, הרי זו בחזקת, as Gemara says this. If you purchase a house that's already done, it's already painted beautiful, leave it alone. ואין מחייבים אותו לקלוף, הכתלים, we don't make you peel down the wall, the Rambam says. וכן התקינו, also they said, שהעורך שולחן לעשות סעודה לאורחים, if you make a big feast, מחסר ממנו מעט, you leave a little space. ומניח מקום פנוי. So when I told you, this is different halakha than leaving food over from what your sandwich is totally different. Rambam says, leave makom panui. Leave a space on the table. Rambam's adding to the Gemara. Not only leave a space on the plate. Don't put the final table set on the table. Umeniach makom panui below ki'ala min ha'ki'alot ha'liot lotet sham. There was supposed to be a plate here. Don't put the plate there. Like the plate of Eliyahu, it's empty. That's what Rambam says. Leave one space empty. And then for the woman, when she gets all dressed up, leave one thing off, so it shouldn't be a full, beautiful dress up. Okay. This is Rambam. Now, Rambam, a lot of people are arguing what he means. Does Rambam say you're allowed to make a plastered house? Can I make a plastered house, fully plastered, and leave amma by amma? I don't want to use cement. I want to use seed. I want to use plaster, but I want to do the amma by amma. Am I allowed to? Or do I have to use cement and the amma by amma? It's not sure what he's saying, Rambam.
Yes, how you do after it? When you build inside, build block, and then you make tiach.
Yeah.
Okay, before we finish, or leave amma and the other finish.
I understand, but the question, Yeshua, is the material you're using. The Rambam says you can't make seed misuyad kibinyan melachim.
No, yes,
It's in the material, plaster. Ken, we understand the amma by amma. There's another thing. Ken, which material are you allowed to use? Maybe a Jewish person, maybe it's asur for a Jew to use.
It's color of plaster.
I understand, but
Plaster.
I understand.
Binyan before paint.
Moshe, ta'azodi. Explain what I'm saying. Rambam might be saying that you're not allowed to use 100% plaster. The question is, do you have to use teeth, cement? Do you have to?
It's symbolic, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's not symbolic. No, it's about, because it's about a strong, fancy material. You shouldn't go so luxury. That's what it's about. There's two parts to
The
this.
question is, does one go with the other?
Yes.
That's the,
What?
When you make, when you create paint, the cheapest paint there is with the rough material, like sand.
Yes.
The more fine the sand is, the more expensive the paint is.
Yeah. Right. But the question, Mordechai, the question is, what is Harambam saying? We understand, hold on, read it. We understand, guys.
Guys, what is that?
Rabotai.
hello.
We understand what they do. The question is halakha. We understand one halakha for sure. If you make a house with seed and teat, with plaster and cement, both, you have to make 1 amma by 1 amma unfinished. We know this halakha. The second question is there another halakha? When Rambam says you can't make it like binyan melachim, you can't make a 100% plaster house, which means, according to the Rambam, if I make a 100% plaster house, cement-free house, can I leave an amma 1 by 1, or is that not even enough? That's the question, and the Rishonim go to war about this question. I'm going to show you. Okay?
What would be under the plaster?
Nothing. It's plaster's the first layer above the stone or the wood. It seems like no. Let's see.
So when you say the material, not be like the
Fancy.
next one.
Exactly.
100% of that.
Understand.
Yeah.
Plaster is the finished material that's the nicest one.
Yes.
We're arguing what's beneath that, right?
We're arguing
Can you use that only?
You do the lower layer or not. What he's basically saying, it's saying there are two approaches. One, you do the whole thing, the lower layer, the upper layer, and you leave like that. The other one is, the question is, do you even do the lower layer that gives the upper layer the melachim look? Maybe you shouldn't even do the lower layer.
Avi, if I put plaster and then cement, if I put cement and then plaster and I scratch away the cement, the plaster, then the cement is showing.
Got it.
But if I put all plaster,
So the question.
what's going to be
can
showing?
What they're saying is, can you build, the question is here.
Can you build
a house
100%
with
plaster?
all plaster?
That's the question. Yes. So there's, yeah,
Okay, I'm not
Yes.
trying to, the word build.
yes,
Okay, most of us here are qualified to buy. a
Yes.
home. We are not qualified to actually.
unless you're Israeli. Then you're in the business.
So I understood back then.
Yes.
Everybody was Jewish.
Excellent.
So my question is, okay, if all you're doing is paying the contractor and you don't have, if the contractor's not Jewish.
Excellent question. And the poskim that I pasted should talk about it. The short answer is, if you're building a brand new house, you tell the general contractor what you need, and he has to do what you say. And if you bought a house from a goy, you bought the house like this.
Okay.
Nothing you could do about it.
I think what they
The
mean,
problem is if you bought a house from a Jew and it's violating the law, that might be a big problem.
I think what they're talking about is that the plaster has layers of plaster.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah,
So if you take off the first layer,
you're still showing plaster.
still showing plaster,
Exactly.
but you took off.
I understand
Layer.
exactly. Yes, this is the question. Rambam, would he be okay with this? If I peeled back 50% of my plaster, and now there's more plaster showing, is it kosher? Or Rambam says, no, you need cement. The king, it seems like the palace is, no, full plaster.
Right, so if he says like,
You can't build, right.
So if you take plaster off, that's all like malachim.
That's true, but we don't know if that's enough. So some poskim say, perfect, thank you. Some poskim say what he's saying, hey, a king's palace doesn't have a hole in the wall, right? And so that's enough to kosher it up. Other people say, no, Rambam says you can't build a king's palace. You can't build a king's house. Sorry. That material, off limits. So we're going to see, I'm going to show you right now. That's for sure okay. You're building an inferior house.
So it's
Yeah,
not to diminish anything. It's just that
No.
you can't use this fancy.
100%.
Next, the plaster, that type of chemical, whatever it is that you make with cement.
Okay.
All that material, once you use it, first coat, in the history of this industry with cement, nobody has came up with any idea that can make another cement a little bit first.
What you're saying is perfect. We're going to save this for the end. It's a whole, this is a big cog in the system. What is inside plaster?
Okay.
That's why I started saying I called my brother. We'll get there in 1 second. Let's build it. Yeah. Ah, if you build it,
You're a noose.
But you have to let you.
Supposed to know that.
you should probably, I think it's going to answer you when I paste it. The answer should be you should peel it back. Okay, let's see. That was Rambam.
Elam has a plastic.
we're not going to finish this.
What is plastic?
We're going to see in 1 second. We're going to see in 1 second. We're going to, by the time we come back next 2 weeks, there's no class next week. Shabbos. Bim Mashiach's going to come by now. This whole thing's going to be thrown in the garbage. Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch is the second source, guys. Mishteharav abayit taknu shebechol davar simcha. See, any joyous thing. Sheyeh bazecher lechurban abayit. You have to remember the temple. Ve'al ken amru sad adam mepeto besid umeniach bo amar ama belo seed. If you put the plaster, you have to scratch away one amma by one amma with no plaster. Zecher lechurban abayit, remembering the churban. Ve'harambam katav. Maran Shulchan Aruch quotes the Rambam. En bonin binyan misuyat ki binyan melachim. See? It seems like Shulchan Aruch is taking Rambam point blank. You cannot build a fancy house. Ela tahpedo betit. You must use cement. You see how Maran Shulchan Aruch is reading the Rambam? Besad beseed. You could use cement and seed, but not all seed. This is the way Maran understands Rambam. It doesn't seem like this in the Gemara. Sorry, this is not the Maran. This is the Tur. This is the Tur Shulchan Aruch. The Tur Shulchan Aruch is reading this. This is not Maran Shulchan Aruch. This is the Tur. Ora Hayim is the section of the Halakha. This is the Tur, the Arba'a Turim. And so therefore, let's skip because I want to get other sources. The Tur is reading the Rambam like I told you. And he argues in the noise, Rambam. That's not what the Gemara says. Where'd you make this halakha up from? This is what the Tur says. Says the Kesef Mishneh. Who wrote the Kesef Mishneh? Maran Shulchan Aruch. Yeah? Maran Shulchan. Kesef Mishneh is on the Rambam. Maran Shulchan Aruch in his Kesef Mishneh defends Rambam to the Tur. Everybody got the game where we are? The Tur says, Rambam said, you can't build a fully seed house. What is he? Doesn't say anything about that. Says the Kesef Mishneh, Hatur katav sad adam beto besid u'maniach bo amal ama below seed. Zecher hamal bayit. The Tur says he disagrees with the Rambam, and the Tur holds you can do a 100% plaster house and leave the one amma by one amma in your kosher. Not like Rambam. The Rambam katav en bunin. How do you argue Rambam? Says the Kesef Mishneh. En bunin miyam seed k'miyam melachim ela tach beto betit. You have to use cement. This is what the Tur says. The Chachnerei says the Kesef Mishneh she'atur lo dak b'divrei Rabbeinu kalal. The Tur is not understanding Rambam at all. Whenever the Kesef Mishneh says Rabbeinu, he means Rambam. The Rabbeinu lav amineh disol kapit. He doesn't care about the material. The Tur, you're reading way too much into the Rambam. The Kesef Mishneh, Mash Aruch. He didn't mean to say you can't use the material. It's all the same. And so therefore he says, Tur, you're taking a halakha way out of context. If you're going to read the Rambam, that you're not allowed to use 100% seed, Rambam didn't mean this. Okay? Let's go further. After the case of Mishneh, I brought for you the Teshubat Haradbaz. Says the Radbaz. Now, we're not reading this whole thing. You can take the pamphlet home when you're done and read it yourself. This is very long. Let's read the Sheila. Sha'ata mimeni odi'acha da'ati. You asked me, I'm going to tell you my answer. This is what we said in the Perek Hizkat Batim in Baba Batra, page 60 that we just read. You can't do these activities in these days. This was your question, Yaniv. Someone already did it. He didn't know. I already built my house. Do I have to peel it? Or should I just peel the one amma? I don't know what to do. I violated the rule. Do I have to strip the whole house and start all over? Or just peel away one amma? Can I retroactively do the one amma by one amma? If you want to say that it's enough for me to strip off right now the one amma by one amma, can I build a melachim house? Can I build a palace like the Rambam says? You can't. And leave an amma. You have another question. You already bought a house and it didn't come with this amma. So the guy before you didn't follow the law. Do you have to peel it or not? When the Gemara says if you bought a house and it wasn't peeled, don't touch it. What does it mean, don't touch it? Don't touch the whole house or don't touch the one amma? Right.
Just the one amma.
Yeah, let's read a few lines from this Teshuvah. Teshuvah, it would seem to say, you cannot fix a house that's a king's house, which is fully cement, which is fully plaster. What does he hold like? The way the Tur understands Rambam. You cannot fix a 100% plaster house. No remedy, says the Radbaz.
Was the simcha in building the house?
The simcha is in having this beautiful house. Yeah. So you see how the Radbaz learns Rambam? Like the Tur. Kesef Mishneh would say, whoa, you're reading him completely wrong. And tikun klal. And if you built the house, you can't fix it. You have to add cement to it. שכתב משחרב בית המקדש תקנו חכמים שבדור שאין בונים לעולם בניין מסויד. You can't build a 100% plaster house. ומדקאמר לעולם משמע דאין לו תקנה על ידי שהוא רמה. It means you can't even fix this house. Okay. I want to move on.
Measured by their size.
Yes.
And grandeur. They're saying, so wouldn't it be a limitation on how big of a house would you put?
No, last week was the size. This is the progression. Last week I told you no big houses. There's a heter. This week we're talking about material, and that's it. After this,
Even the old school, are we looking for new houses with these things?
I'm trying to basically flood the market because I want a house. So I'm flooding the market with houses, so I can scoop one up and do whatever I want. And we're not going to finish the whole thing because we have no time. So take it home with you, please, and read the rest later. Let's do the next one. Finally, the next page we have Shulchan Aruch. Maran Shulchan Aruch, page 4 on top. משחרב בית המקדש תקנו חכמים שהיו באותו הדור שאין בונים לעולם בניין מסויד ומחויד כבניין המלכים. Who does that sound like? Rambam. Maran Shulchan Aruch, like Rambam. אלא תח ביתו ביתית. You must use cement. וסד בסיד. And then you can put the plaster. ומשתייר מקום אמה על אמה, and you have to put the אמה on the אמה. כנגד הפתח, by the door. ולא seed. That's only cement. The piece that you leave open is only cement, no plaster. והלוקח חצר מסוידת ומחוירת. If you bought the house like this, with fully plaster, הרי זו בחזקתה, leave it alone. ואין מחייבים אותו לקלוף בכותלים. You don't have to peel all the walls plasters down. You may have to do that. אמה באמה. וכן התקינו, they also said, שהעורך שולחן לעשות סעודה לאורחים, נחסד ממנו מעט. You leave a little piece of food from the party, like we said. ומניח, it's a bad print. ומניח מקום פנוי ולא קערה מן הקערות, הרי הוא לתת שם, exactly Rambam. Leave a place on the table with no plate. וכשהאישה עושה תכשיטי הכסף והזהב, when she gets dressed up, משתיירה ממיני התכשיט שנוהגת בהם, כדי שלא יהיה תכשיט שלם, exactly the words of Rambam, which is going to happen 95% of the time with Maran Shulchan Aruch. He loves the Rambam. Okay, Mishnah Berurah, written by not Itai. Mishnah Berurah, written by Hafetz Chaim. Let's see what he says. Taknu. שכל דבר ששמחה צריך לעשות בה דבר זכר לחורבן הבית, וכמו שכתב אם לא אעלה את ירושלים על שמחתי. Any happy thing you do, you have to leave mourning, which actually seems like you were saying, huh? I don't know. Good question. But your other part seems like in Mishnah Berurah, building the house is the happiness. It could be both things. Misuyad mechuyad, plastered and ornamented. Heminet siyur. They're both types of paint, types of artistry, drawing. If Shalom, it is possible to say shederech ha'olam shetachin betit. The way the people build houses is they first put cement, and then they put the plaster. Melachim and the kings, or sinakol besid, they put everything with plaster. This was the debate we had before. Well, if he's there, according to this, I feel besid lebado asur. Rambam, it would seem like the Rambam that if it was a 100% plaster house, it would be forbidden because it's completely seed. It's a house like the Melachim. It's too fancy. It's too fancy. But hold on. Guys, we're going backwards. We're going backwards. Hold on. We did this already. Hold on. From the fact that they say you can never build a king's house, like the Rambam, so Mishnah Berurah is saying, like the Radbaz says for the Rambam. The Mechaber, Maran, he took exactly the words of the Rambam, but the words of the Tur, which I already showed you, the Tur argues on the Rambam and says even a 100% plaster house, you can do the one amma by one amma. Bottom line, Rabotai. Bottom line. Yes. Yeah. Bottom line, we have a mahloket between Rambam and the Tur. Rambam holds if you build a 100% plaster house, tear it down. The Tur says if you build a 100% plaster house, you can still do the 1 amah by 1 amah peel. Okay.
Anyway, the language, unless we're just seeing a segment, doesn't even suggest that even the Rambam, he doesn't read it like halakha one should do. It says shenoagim, ayu, bezman, she. He kind of leaves you with a question mark. Okay.
I mean, taknu hachamim that's a real word. Taknu hachamim. All right, let's try to finish this in time, guys. Ready? We're going to go a little express. Kafa hayim. She'en bonin le'olam. We're on the bottom of page 4, Rabotai. Bottom of page 4. We're still arguing about the materials. Not only cement, Ezra. No one's saying you have to build a house with only cement.
I said, how can you build that?
No, seed.
Only seed. I don't know. We gotta go back. Gotta make layers. He wants me to take an architecture lesson. Mishnah, listen, Yoshua. These halachot were written before America. Yoshua, Rohi, Habibi. These halachot were written, Yoshua, before we were both born. They're talking about Rambam. It was written hundreds of years ago. What do you mean no? Rambam wrote this hundreds of years ago. Forget about Israel. Forget about America. Ow. Yossi, we're not talking about 50 years ago. We're talking about way before.
ועל זה תחים. התחים, מה תהיה?
Definitely. By the way, only an Israeli thinks he knows 100% what they did 1,000 years ago. Right? Don't you dare tell me what they did 1,000 years ago. Yeah.
The material costs more cement, or plaster. You take a plaster, you can use that 4 inch at the most thickness. But if you take that 12 inches, it will put you a lot more.
Okay, so there you go. So it's expensive. Okay, Rabotai, let's. I know, but listen, Habibi, listen to me. Listen, we have to trust Rambam, Manaj Haruch, Mishnah Berurah. They're saying for a fact, maybe we don't know. They're saying they used to build houses out of seed. Maybe their seed is different than your seed.
I'm just reading what they're saying. Doesn't matter.
Yeshua, what's the agala? What's the agala? What is the agala? What does it mean? What is the agala? Yeah, what is it in English? What is the agala? What is it? What is the agala of 1,000 years ago? Yeah, agala is a hamor, pulling a thing. You're using the word seed. It's a different word than it used to be. Okay, come on. Kappa. What do you want me to do with this?
This is the point. If it's true what you guys are saying, the contractors here, that, oh my God, you cannot build that. That means the whole maga is nonsense.
It's not the same. It's not the same material.
It's a different seed. Avi, we don't even need a gemara. We need an archaeologist. Yeah, let's go back. Come on, guys. We have to wrap this up. Come on. Kafa Haim, thank you. Kafa Haim. Kafa Haim says we're on the bottom of page 4. She'en bonin le'olam binyan mesuyad mechuyad kibinyan melachim. This is what Rambam said. You don't build fancy houses. He says, Zeu da'at harambam shim boneh beto kulo mesid kibinyan melachim asur afilu bishur lama. Kafa Haim says, according to Rambam, 100% plaster house, done. Not even the 1 amah by 1 amah. Only if you had cement. Also, it works. About the two disagrees. We're flying. Let's turn to the next page and wrap this up. Page 5. What do we have over here for you? One of my favorite sifarim. You ever hear the Sefer? Yerushua. Page 5 on top. Moed Bechol Hai. Have you heard the Sefer? It's a beautiful Sefer. Who wrote the Sefer, Itai? Moed Bechol Hai. It was written by Rab Chaim Palagi. I have this book in my house. Wonderful book. Let's see what he says. Yeah? He says, Turkish, yes. Not the Iraqi one, not the Kaf HaChaim Sofer, the Kaf HaChaim Palagi. Kemo Sa'ad Benafshi. I think it meant to say Kammat Sa'ad Benafshi. How much Sa'ad I have, how much distress. Listen to the words of Kaf HaChaim of Chaim Palagi. How much stress I have. Al Kama Batei Yisrael De'in Lahim Sion Kara'ui Zecher L'Churban Bet HaMikdash. How many houses don't have a marker to remember the Binyan Bet HaMikdash? You need to have one amma by one amma without blaster. Number one, they do two mistakes, the people I see in Turkey. Number one, it's way less than a shiur. And they paint it with the beautiful black paint, nice shiny black metallic paint.
It becomes more beautiful.
The opposite. Now it looks better than before. He painted a black square, nice black shiny black paint square. It's not a remembrance of the destruction. I heard from the mouth of my father, the Abid Yaakov, he told me, he used to always check any house that has this rule, the one amma by one amma empty space, opposite the door, like the right halakha. And I can see the bricks under the cement, which means you did it the right way. As oto habayit nachon ad ha'olam. That house is going to last and be good forever. The chol hadarim aleha, and all the people who live in that house are going to last. This was his way, his holy way of my father. He would walk in a guy's house and say, let me see your house. And if he didn't see the thing, if he didn't see the one amma by one amma, he would yell at the guy, why did you do this? Mafsid. Give me mafsid. Persuade him. Until he fixes it. And my grandfather, Rishon LeZion, B'Sifro HaNechtav Kavod Yom Tov, writes, Allah v'nistapak. This is a play on words from Yom Kippur Minha, the Yom Kippur. Allah v'nistapek. He dried. He was in doubt. He says, what if I make it even bigger than Amma? Maybe you're losing the whole thing. Bless you. So he says, don't make it smaller than the Amma. Don't make it bigger. Just make it the Amma. Next one. Oh, the last line of this. V'ayen b'sefer mishpetzot zahav. Check the mishpetzot zahav. Siman taf kuf samach tekatav sheyesh shnei pirushim bazeh tekeneged hapetach. There are two ways to understand neged hapetach. I'll show you in 1 second. I'm going to try to go very fast. Neged hapetach, Mishnah Berurah. Next. Bottom of page 5. What is neged hapetach? Where does this box have to be? Neged hapetach. Hainu nochach hapetach. Next to the door, not opposite the door, next to the door. Someone comes in the house, they should see it right away. It's for the person coming in the house. Like the menorah almost. Hold on, Moshe, hold it. Trust me. Some people put it high. And a person coming in can't see it. Maybe they do it so the people inside the house can always see it. Most people sit by the wall. That's in the opposite of the wall, the door. Not like the black squares. Forget this black squares. Don't paint the box. Leave it empty. And so Mishpesot Zahav has two pshatim. What does petach mean? Did I paste it for you? I did. I think I did. Okay. Next one. Well, hold on the bottom. One more Mishnah. Wait, don't turn the page. Bottom 5 minutes and we're done, guys. Unless we get more debates. On the bottom of 5, Mishnah Berurah Dalid. Behizkata. If you bought the house this way, leave it alone. Why? The Talinan, we say, Shana Asabi an Akum. It must be a goy built the house. Don't check the deed. Don't check too much. Just assume a goy built the house. And you bought it from him. But if you know that a Jewish person built this house, you know for a fact there's a Jewish person,
Contract.
he sued and he didn't do the law. He should have left it open. Hayav leklot ama alama. You have to peel off one amma by one amma. That's only if the house is standing. But if it fell down and had to be renovated, you have to, even if it was a goy that did it, you have to redo it. We're almost done.
So if you repaint the house,
No, not repainting the house. If you're redoing the walls. Okay, last page. What's on top? Hayeh Adam. Hayeh Adam is another great Sefer Ashkenazi. We do not have this in the shul. I have it at home also. Hayeh Adam. לעשות זכר לחורבן. משחרב בית המקדש תקנו חז"ל שבכל דבר שיש בו שמחה, יהיה בה זכר לחורבן. והסמיכו עקרה דכתיב, אם ישכחך ירושלים תשכח ימיני, אם לא עלה ירושלים. על כן אמרו, therefore we said, לא יסוד אדם כל ביתו בסיד, you shouldn't use 100% plaster, אלא יניח בו אמה על אמה בלא סיד כנגד הפתח, כדי שידעו תמיד כשיוצא ונכנס. When someone goes out and comes in, he sees it. ויזכור החורבן and remembers. ויתאונן עליו, and he's being sorrow over the Beit HaMikdash. אבל מה שמציירים כל החדר, this that they paint the whole room, ומשתחררים אמה אחת, and they make a black box, and they say that's my box, they painted it black, לא מהני, not kosher. וגם זה הוא צייר, it's called painted. ואף שכותבים זכר לחורבן, לא מהני. Even if you want to put זכר לחורבן. I went to someone's house one time, beautiful house. He has אם ישכחך ירושלים, gold letters, beautiful. I'm like, Lord, this is not the halakha. The halakha is not only to remember Yerushalayim. The halakha is it's supposed to be ugly, not beautiful. This does not work. Okay, two more things. Or are we done? Three more things. Mishpetot Zahav. I told you, Mishpetot Zahav says, what does neged mean? Does neged mean next to the door or opposite the door? Let's see. These people that make the box black, or they paint a picture of Sidkiyahu HaMelech. Hey, you want to remember the destruction? Paint the king that was exiled from the temple. That's how I'm going to do it. No, it's not the halal. It's not good. Yes, you're remembering the temple. It's still a picture. You can't do it. Next point. This one by one has to be square, not rectangle, not the square, exactly one by one. Gam neged petach. What does it mean, neged petach? Says the Mishpezot Zahav, Hainu etzel petach, next to the door, not opposite the door, next to the door.
what's that mean?
Hold on.
No, why do you be next to the door?
Look what he says. Hold on, look what he says, guys.
Move the wall.
Hold on, guys, we have to wrap it up. Af de milat neged. Moshe, this one is especially for you. This whole thing is special for you. Af de milat, listen. Af de milat neged pirusho al piharov mul. Even though neged usually means opposite, then nochach ayen me'id netiv. Check the me'id netiv. And they bring a lot of pisukim that I didn't paste over here. Mineged, the Haggad was Mineged from Ishmael. Moshe was buried Mineged today at the Ares. There's a lot of pisukim they bring. Sometimes it means opposite, sometimes it means next to. Sometimes the word neged doesn't mean opposite. It means next to it. Ayen Tagum Yonatan. Check the Tagum Yonatan on the pasuk. Bateshev Mineged, which is Haggad, and you'll go see the pasuk over there. And therefore, check another pasuk of Mishleh. He says, I say the word mineged means next to. Shaarey Teshuvah, Mishnah Be'ura, and we're done with Hacham Yitzhak, we're finished. Shaarey Teshuvah. Shaarey Teshuvah is written by Hafetz Chaim. V'yesh manihim pinuyam lemala min hapetach. Some people put this open space above the door. Begoba, in the height. ואז אין עולה כלל ונכנס, you can't see it. ואפשר כדי שיתראה תמיד לפני בעל הבית. So they want the people in the house to see it. שיושב בפנים, שעל הרוב יושב בעץ לקיר. Okay, וצריך עיון. We have to really doubt. We have to really doubt. אך בדורות אלו, in these generations, יצאו להקל. Everyone is lenient. והקילו וחזרו והקילו. They're lenient and they become even more lenient. Ad shechim'at nishkach milev. Everyone almost just about forgot this halacha, says the Hafetz Haim. Then amal yisha'in, there's nothing for us to rely upon. How did you forget this halacha? How many laws are forgotten with our sins? Yatzi'u mashi yatzi'u, whatever happened to happen. Last one, Mishnah Berurah. Tach beto batit, yavesad besid. Hainu. She'oto ama ye belo seed. That ama has to be nothing. Rak petit lebad, only the cement. Vehecha sheme'arev hol beseed, Mordechai. Hecha sheme'arev hol beseed nami shari. If you mix sand in the seed, it's okay as long as you do the one ama by one ama. If you mix a hole in the seed, the question is, the plaster these days, does it have mud or seed in it? Let's see. Some people are lenient when they have sand in it. They hold. Seed. That's one possible way out of this halakha. In our times, nobody's doing it, says the Mishnah Berurah. Now, my brother said the Syrians are doing it. He built houses. He says the Syrians do it, my brother.
They do just like
the one by one. Oh, they do that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mishnah Berurah is saying
the beautiful one, the design one.
Whatever, but it still remembers this halakha.
Mishnah Berurah says no one's doing it. Why? Guys, let's finish up. It's late. Maybe why do they not do it? They hold by the lenient people. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Al Kol Panim Tamua. It's unbelievable. So it's an amazing wonder. They only use plaster. Gufsh, I don't know what gufsh is. They're using very white seed, very white plaster. Asur, it's not allowed. The point is that the white shouldn't be showing. It should be showing the brown or the black of the cement. Mashenkin seed chelanu, our plaster, says the Mishnah Berurah, is not white. And since it's not, what color is our seed?
Great.
That's the Mishnah Berurah's heter. Since he says it's not white, maybe you can say you don't have to do it. Kozit dohak. Even this is a push to try to give a heter. I don't understand. I don't know why no one does it. That's the only possible heter he could think of. He says even that he doesn't love it. If you only use cement and no plaster, you don't have to use any ama by any ama. This is the end of the booklet. Now, I'm going to just read you halakha l'ma'aseh from Chacham Yitzhak Yosef, and we go. Says Chacham Yitzhak Yosef in Yalkut Yosef. He says, "Mishihara bet hamikdash taknu hachamim shekasher adam mesiyed beto yishayer mekom shel ama al ama 48 centimeters by 48 centimeters. Ezra, 48 centimeters. Ken shelo yeh mesuyad. It has to be empty. V'yezeh keneged hapetach. It should be opposite, next to the door. We have to see what this means. Im kana dira shesiyado ota v'lo shiru ba'ama al ama. If you bought a house that didn't have this missing piece, yesh omrim shemeikar adin eno hayav legared ama al ama, legrod, to peel. That's what it means. Legared. Ubefrat, some people say leave it alone. Ubefrat bizman hazeh, especially these days, shehasid me'uravim hol, that our plaster is mixed with sand. And so Yalkut Yosef, Chacham Yitzhak is saying, I'll use the Mishnah Berurah's heter only if you already bought the house that way, not if you're building a brand new house. However, tov le'achmir, it's good to be strict. Legared ama al ama keneged hapetach gam b'kiyai gavna. Even if that's the case, I really prefer you to peel the one ama by one ama. Yesh shenagu le'akel b'zman hazeh. Some people don't do this at all these days. Because it's mixed with sand. If you're lenient and you don't do it, and your plaster had sand in it, you have what to rely upon. Especially if you moved in after it was already built this way. However, it's really good to be strict. The shayed or the gared, you should really do it and be blessed. Where should we put this one by one box? By the door. It should be in a place where the person coming in the house should see it right away.
It's the opposite, not the opposite.
And that seems like the door.
It's the door.
Hold on, let's finish. Some people put it so high. Umaran, my father, Shalita says, he's not sure. Looked into this. I'm not sure they put sand in the plaster. And he asked plasterers, and they didn't give him a good answer. Try. Like me. Yeah. Well, he's asking all the people, and no one's telling him what's inside the sheet. Says it's really a problem how it's allowed, but it's just one of those things. Last one. It is exactly square. Some people say you should not paint the square black. If you paint it black, it's a painting. Some people say if you paint it black and you put zecher dechoban, it's okay. And some people say even this is not kosher.
מה קורה פה היום שאי אפשר, למשל בבתים, you have drywall. Not drywall,
No, but in the sheetrock, Yehoshua, in the sheetrock is plaster. Let's do Kaddish. Rabbi Haim Omer,